The week started with bond buying by the ECB after Italy and Spain became the focus of market attention. But do these countries, which are the third and fourth biggest economies in the Eurozone, deserve to be put in a category with Portugal and Greece, or indeed are their economies more robust? Francois Famquang from EFG joins me to have his say on the matter. Francois, are you convinced the latest round of austerity announced in Spain is enough?
I think Spain, well, first of all, I think the austerity measures, to be honest with you, I mean, we hear about the numbers, which I'm still not sure. I don't think anybody is clear as to exactly where they're cutting because the different regions have so much autonomy around their finances and the federal government doesn't have much control. So there's always these rumors about Catalonia actually being bust and about all these various regions not having proper finances. So it is an austerity. Can we be optimistic? I think Spain has more potential growth than Italy does, but I think that we're not done seeing the problems of the financial sector in Spain. So that's still the missing piece of the puzzle.
One of the most remarkable features of the Spanish economy is the unemployment rate, which is still above 20%. Is solving that problem one of the main challenges facing the Spanish economy?
It will be, but to be honest, it's a challenge they faced before. I mean, when I first started in the city in the early 90s, Spain was above 20. And it definitely grew in terms of cheap credit, but also because of industries such as tourism, they had a strong financial sector. So I think they have more of a chance of growing. I think that the unemployment rate is definitely high, but not something that cannot be overcome. My biggest concern in Spain is the banking issue. So I think that's going to be a more pressing thing to resolve rather than all the austerity measures and all the unemployment.
And finally, Francois, do you think the focus on Italy and Spain was fair, or was it just a case the market was looking for the next story and Italy and Spain were just the unlucky victims?
Oh, that's a very good question. I actually think it's been slightly later. Italy, I mean, we've talked about Italy for a while now. We've seen the market buying Italian CDS for the past year and Spanish CDS as well. So I think that the market has been in general, a bit late focusing on these two countries. So, I mean, I actually think that, it's long overdue.
So Francois Famquang clearly thinking the focus on Spain and Italy is overdue. But let's get a view from Italy. Luca Mesimo is an economist at INTESA Sanpaolo. Luca, do you think the market's negative sentiment towards Italy is unfair?
The Italian economy in this period is still in a process of a slow recovery. The pace of recovery remains disappointing, and I think that this explains a lot about the worries that trade unions, business confederations, and also segments of the political establishment are expressing regarding the future of the country. And also explains why many investors, despite the relatively good fiscal fundamentals, do have some worries about the long-term perspectives. I think that the kind of action we are now seeing, on one hand, will improve the situation because it will allow borrowing costs to be kept in check in the coming quarters. On the other hand, of course, putting forward the fiscal adjustment will probably worsen the short-term macroeconomic outlook, at least in 2012. And that's why I think that we are going to see some cuts to the growth forecast for next year. Our own forecast, for instance, is currently 0.8%. Which already includes the effects of the additional measures, and so for the next few years, I think it will remain stuck in a process of very slow growth, which will require continuing attention regarding the fiscal flows, because not much help will come in terms of through an increase in nominal GDP.
And what role does Silvio Berlusconi play in this? Everyone likes a good laugh at him, but he really has to push through some crucial reforms before he leaves office.
I think that we are now entering a different stage in Italian politics. In the recent past, the government has tried to push through these reforms only by its own majority. Now the situation is totally different, and many of these measures will have to be passed after discussion with the opposition parties, and we are going to see much more coordination among the government, the opposition, the trade unions, and the business confederations. I think there was a big change, a revolutionary change last week when the trade unions and the business confederations presented the government with a set of proposals to reform the country, which all signed and decided to propose to the government. I think that represents a turning point and may represent the base on which to build a reform program.
Okay, thanks again, Luca. Angela Merkel and Nicola Sarkozy will meet on Tuesday to try and hammer out a more solid solution to the Greek problems, but whether the markets will be convinced or not is another question. Goodbye for now.